All right, so here's a kind of a general philosophical question that I'm sure you're all asking. What if we compound more often? Will I make money without limit? You guys know what I mean? So say I had this sort of situation. Just for example, say I had $100, right? And somebody was going to pay me an interest rate of, I don't know, 4% on it. And they didn't specify how often they were going to compound. I was like, dude, what if they compounded all the time? Like, I make more money, right, the more often they compound. Is there a limit to how much more money I could make?
I don't think so. It's always getting bigger. Yeah. It's always getting bigger, so you're always getting more money.
But while it's getting bigger, you're reducing the interest rate.
Yeah, there's two components. There's
Okay.
the portion.
So I think this is a perfect one of these, like, it's always getting bigger, so it should be better,
But the
right?
amount it gets bigger by goes down the more intervals you have.
Yeah.
So let me
It's
give
like
you a
asymptotes.
let me give you a geometric example of something that's behaving a little bit like this. So here's a square, right?
Mhm.
And I'm going to color in 3/4 of this square. Cool? So there's a little bit left over, and I'm going to be nice, and I'm going to give you 3/4 of that one too. You guys see this? So from 1 to 2, right, it went up, right?
But by a smaller amount.
And I'm going to give you another one because I'm a nice guy, right? So it went up again, right? Like, at some point here, do you really stop caring about this little tiny bit that I'm kind of increasing by? Yeah, I mean, at some point it becomes really negligible, right? Like, you're still not getting the whole square. You guys see that? If I keep shading in 3/4 of what's left over here, I'm still going to have, like, I'm never going to get more than this whole box. You guys see that? Okay, so this is my kind of thought. I'm going to just let T be 1 to make things easy. I've got a 4% interest rate. I've got a P as 100. And I'm going to just let N go up, right? So first things first, let's just start with N as 1. In this case, if N is 1, what is this thing? Yeah, this is simple interest. This is I'm going to get $104, right? Right, so ands and amounts. Maybe I don't need the A equals. Right, I'm going to get $104. I made that by taking my principal, 100, and multiplying by 1 plus my interest rate to the first power. You guys with me on this? All right, what if I let N be 2? So I'm going to compound twice a year instead of once a year. So I'm going to get 100 raised to the 1 plus what? 0.02, right? I have to split my interest rate among the 2 periods. But then I'm going to compound twice. And how much am I going to get out of this?
402.
What?
Sorry, 204.
No,
No?
don't add to that. Just do this piece.
It's a little bit.
Is it pretty much the same thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be. It'll probably be just a tiny bit bigger. Is the calculator rounding? It rounded off to exactly 104?
I guess.
Oh, you didn't even do it.
Just a good guess.
What do you get?
104 and 4 cents.
104.04. So by compounding twice a year, right, I made 4 more cents. That's more. So what if I let N be 3? I'm going to do 100 plus 1 plus 0.04 split 3 ways raised to the third power. You got an answer for either of these?
N of 3 is 104 and 5 cents.
Yes! More, right?
Teeny bit.
Will it ever reach 105?
And the next one is 6 cents.
I don't know. How do we figure out what it reaches in the end? You guys see that? Like,
Can you plug it big? No.
yeah, really what I'm looking for is something like,
3 billion.
so at n periods, right? When n is n, it's just some number. I'm looking for, okay, my amount, right, is 100 raised to the 1 plus 0.04 split n ways to the n, right? Okay, so those of you who have had calculus might recognize this thing.
I like it. I think I understand what about a little bit.
Don't worry though, you can just remember this if you want.
Well, let's start.
Okay,
Compute the limit.
let's go like this. This is how I'm going to define the number e. It's the thing that you get at the end. Okay, so what's e to 0.04? That you can punch in a calculator. Yes, e is an actual number. It's like 2.78.
1.0408.
1.0408. So
That's literally just what that limit approaches.
does it ever get to $5? No, it doesn't ever get past 8 cents.
Dang.
You guys see that? So by compounding more and more often, right, you're going to keep making more and more money. But at the end, right, at the bottom of this freaking thing, all the way down the bottom of this list, you're still never going to make more than 8 cents.
Yeah.
Because that's where this guy, right, ends up at 1.0408, right? So the bottom of this is $4.08. That's all there is.
It comes from
See
numerically
that?
running that limit out with bigger and bigger numbers.
8 cents
And they
adds up.
just
Yeah.
call it E.
So you want N to stay like at 1.
No, you would like n to be more often, right? Like that would be great. Because 8 cents is 8 cents. What else are you
It's
going
like
to
when
do?
you have
Like not
a
take the
video,
8 cents? But you shouldn't get it in your head that it's going to get you great gains, right? It's just it's gaining, right? And it's gaining a little bit at a time, but it's never getting past that number. Okay? Cool. So this is the idea of compounding more often.
Like that.
Because they found that that's